Well, that is a wrap of CES 2022, and in this video, I want to give you guys a little recap of some of the cool things I saw this year in Vegas. Now, from my hotel, I took an Uber over to where you're going to pick up your badge, which is at the West Hall. The first thing I did see when I got to the West Hall was that their Vegas Loop, which is known as the Boring Company, that Tesla tunnel was active and you were able to take it. What's going on? We are here with Brian.
Las Vegas Loop, baby!
We are here at the Vegas Loop.
Man,
This is crazy. I am here with the host of CES. How cool is this, dude? This is something I've wanted to see for a while now in person, and the guests of CES were able to get shuttled from the West Hall all the way to the Central and South Hall. And if you know CES, your feet are killing you at the end of the show, so having the Vegas Loop was major. And besides the tunnel, it was just really cool that the Boring Company also put on display the actual drill heads that were used to bore out the tunnel, as well as a few feet of the concrete material used. Now, once you start walking around to all the booths, the one thing you will definitely notice is that there's a lot of vacant spots. But honestly, it was practically all right with me. It felt actually really nice to be able to actually walk around, speak to the vendors, speak to companies, and actually meet with people. Now, I know most of you guys might be following my channel mainly because of drones, but honestly, there was very little representation of drones this year. All in all, there was basically two booths there, the Autel Robotics booth and the X Dynamics booth. And if you guys have been following my channel, these are two companies that I'm pretty familiar with, so nothing new that was there to be seen as far as drones go. Sony was there and they slimmed down their booth. They didn't have any TVs, no cameras, but they did put the Air Peak on display, which was kind of cool to see on the big stage. Now, although Sony's booth was pretty small, they actually debuted a new EV car called the Vision S, which actually looked pretty sweet. One small booth that I did talk to was a company called ISON. They actually had a universal drone charging dock station that could be mounted anywhere, and I thought that was kind of cool. I know Autel has this one as well, but it's also nice to see more of a smaller company try to get this thing off the ground. They were able to provide a little demo of how it works, but it was great to see the use of it in surveillance, allowing you to do a drone patrol and then have the drone go back to this charging station. I was finally able to connect with a battery company called Blue Eddy, and I've actually talked about them a bunch on my channel, as well as I met up with Cindy from Endure. Cindy gave me a quick rundown of all the new power banks and accessories. I'm excited to test out the new Super Base Pro once that becomes available.
So this is Super Base Pro 2000. We have launched this product on Indiegogo last year, and it has raised over $1 million on Indiegogo.
Now, being a MacBook Pro user, I was happy to see Hyper there with a bunch of new adapters and accessories made for the Mac lineup. So if you're like me and you struggle with only having a couple ports on the side of your laptop, Hyper has a thing called Hyperdrive, and they have multiple solutions for you to plug in all of your devices, all of your hard drives, as well as a bunch of monitors. Now, TVs in general are normally a big draw to CES this year, and of course, that's what they had on display. TCL was out there showing off their latest 8K TVs, as well as rotating displays. That was a pretty popular attraction this year. By far, one of the best booths was Samsung. They had everything from micro LED walls, curved monitors, micro projectors that would auto adapt to the wall contour, as well as foldable phones. On display, they had their wall TVs showing a bunch of famous artwork, and it just looked so real. You couldn't tell if it was actually artwork or a TV. Now, walking over to the West Hall, this was all about EVs. Hyundai was there with a massive booth showing off all of their autonomous electronic construction vehicles, boats, and robots. There were a few electric bike companies as well as scooter companies like SoFlo and Okai. I've actually been in contact with Okai in the past, so I hope to test out some of their scooters. One bike company that really stole the show for me was a company called Cake. They're a Swiss company that makes utility bikes that are all modular. The designs of these bikes were badass. There was also a bunch of concept cars all over the hall. Some of them included Volvo and Edison Future. And of course, we can't talk about unique cars without showing you the show-stopping BMW that would actually change color with this custom film wrap. Now, while it did look super cool from afar, if you actually walked up, the wrap looked pretty beat up. Maybe because of all the demos and the shows that they've been putting this thing through. The concept, really cool though. Just nice to see them changing up things and seeing how they're able to do it with some of their latest technology. The BMW experience didn't stop there, as they did have a bunch of landscape environments, kind of making you feel like you were in the metaverse in this other surreal land. After leaving CES, I was able to attend the DRL, a Drone Racing League Championship, which was held at the T-Mobile Arena. Now, this is my first DRL event, and holy cow, this event did not disappoint. I've watched a bunch of it on TV and was absolutely blown away by the production value that was involved. Now, overall, CES was not like it was, of course, back in 2019 and earlier, but I had an amazing time with some great people, and that's, to me, what really mattered. And hopefully, 2023, it'll be a nice, big in-person event with all of the companies back for CES next year. Hopefully you guys got some value from this a little bit different video of mine. And if you guys did, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. This is Algin Anastasio from CES 2022. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.